Resurrection teachings. Dear friends, today we celebrate the feast of the resurrection of the Lord. What messages do this extraordinary event convey to us? The angels at the resurrection scene addressed these words to the pious women who came to the tomb early on Sunday morning. He is not here, he is risen. Matthew chapter 28, verse 6. There are no eyewitnesses to the resurrection of Jesus. There are no historic documents or photos to prove his resurrection. The intervention of the angels in this event is not accidental, but very symbolic. Their presence and their words have a powerful message, namely, that this truth of the resurrection can only be grasped by a supernatural intervention, by a special grace from above. We call it the gift of faith. Let us thank God today for this gift. Faith is a special relationship which God establishes with us. Faith is offered to all. It is not a reward, nor the result of intellectual researches and logical conclusions. Now, faith is confidence in what we hope for and assurance about what we do not see. Hebrews chapter 11, verse 1. This is also highlighted by Jesus in the post-resurrection episode, where he encountered Thomas, who doubted his resurrection. Have you believed because you have seen me? Blessed are those who have not seen and yet believe. John chapter 20, verse 29. We enjoy today that blessedness promised by Jesus. Whatever be the sacred rituals, decorations, choir renditions, and festive meals surrounding this feast, resurrection can only be celebrated by those who have faith and celebrate it in faith. We are celebrating today our faith. Paul says, if Christ has not been raised, then our preaching is in vain, and your faith is in vain. 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 14. The resurrection story of Jesus takes us through the bitter scenes of rejection, betrayal, cruel suffering, and shameful death of Jesus. It teaches us an important lesson for our daily life. Like Jesus, we too have our own share of daily sufferings. Jesus entered this glorious victory through the cross. When accepted in faith, our sufferings lead us to a deeper levels of faith. Every suffering in our life hides the power of the resurrection. Suffering is not from God, and it will remain a mystery. But when empowered by faith, God's protective hands lead us through suffering to victory and resurrection as he led Jesus. The angels at the resurrection episode challenged the pious women with a very profound question. Why do you look for the living among the dead? Luke chapter 24, verse 5. This is a temptation that we fall into even when we are engaged in noble and holy tasks like the women in the gospel. The empty tomb alerts us about our search for truth, for life. Often we are trying to find life in the passing things of this world like power, position, wealth, pleasure. They in themselves are gifts from God, but once we get enslaved by these things, they become our idols before whom we will sacrifice everything. They become death traps. St. Paul says in Colossians chapter 3, verse 1, if then you have been raised with Christ, seek the things that are above, where Christ is. May the feast of the resurrection help us to live fruitfully in this world while seeking the things that are above. May God bless you. Happy Easter.